Oh, we are the greatest sports has to offer. Michael Jordan ain't my goat. Oh, that's LeBron James. Clap my fingers, and all of a sudden we have balance in the league now.
Oh my goodness!
Come on, man. Knock it off. Knock it off.
Of course, I need to see my Kings come out on top.
You can't be serious.
It's too strong.
Oh, that man hungry. Oh, he is hungry, man. Kiss the baby. Yo, we are back on the NBA cast. It's been a while. It's been a hectic start to the year. For everyone who knows me, knows I've just been going 100 miles an hour. So it's finally nice to be able to sit back and focus on doing what we love to do, and that's do what? Just talk all day about sports. But
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I couldn't do it without the $18,000 kid, Mr. Stephen Miller himself. What it do,
Yep.
Steve-O?
What's up? What's up? Glad to be on the show.
As always, glad to have you here with me. I feel like riling you up today. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I just feel like irking your nerves today. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes. But realistically, today I do want to talk about the NFL and all the offseason moves that has gone on. Also, maybe how it affects some teams' outlook on the draft.
hmm
So let's go ahead and start first with your team. What's Detroit been doing? Because a lot of people, you know, even if you're a big football fan, Detroit's not a big base for fans. Such same as Jacksonville. So let us know what's Detroit been up to.
So it's clear during this off season that we're not trying to buy high, not buy, but spend on high price, high value players. Because obviously we're in a rebuild, so we want to start young, get our young guys, and build them up, and then maybe those core guys are going to be, you know, Pro Bowlers. Like for instance, last year Panay Sewell, he looks like he's going to be a Pro Bowl, maybe all pro caliber right tackle for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we're going to try doing that. Obviously, we got the second pick. I don't know where we're going to go with that one. I'm hearing a lot of Kyle Hamilton. One that I'm really, really hoping that it's not true is I've seen some people want Malik Willis at 2.
I
And
have seen that.
if we pick a quarterback at 2, I'm gonna be devastated because there is not, in my opinion, this is like the one of the worst classes for quarterbacks.
I agree.
I wouldn't even touch a quarterback in the top 10, yet alone top 2.
I'm with you.
I probably wouldn't even touch him until 15 to 20, the earliest, to be honest. But obviously, quarterback is one of those positions everybody they reach for.
Yeah, and the thing with Malik Willis, especially, is they're looking at his upside.
Yep, a lot like
Everyone,
Trey Lance.
right, right. A lot like Trey Lance actually, and a lot of people are, they're banking on his upside to be through the roof, which I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Mobility, leader, big arm. The normal things that you would look at when you look at upside.
Yep.
I did see you guys sign Amon St. Brown to a bigger contract.
No, not Amon Ra.
Amon
I don't
Ra,
know who you're talking about. Amon Ra is on his rookie deal.
I thought y'all extended him for some reason.
No, it wouldn't have been him. We got Josh Reynolds. We re-signed him.
I like
That
I
was
like Josh Reynolds. He showed explosiveness, especially for like the last half of the season.
yeah, and then he has good chemistry with Goff, and obviously it showed
Right,
once we signed him mid-season because Goff looked horrendous at the beginning of the year. Then we
right.
signed Josh Reynolds, somebody he has chemistry with, and then all of a sudden our offense looks decent. I'm not going to say good, obviously, but it looks decent. So, I mean, once that happened, I was like, we got to re-sign Josh Reynolds, and sure enough, we got him on a good contract. And then obviously we signed your boy DJ Chark to a 1-year deal too, which I like because
I like that too.
all our pickups have been only like 1 or 2 years. I don't believe I've seen one go for more than 2 years.
Yeah, and that's nice. the whole DJ Shark deal looks like a prove it deal, especially since he's been hurt every year
Yep.
his whole career. He's been hurt. So 1 year deal is a prove it deal, which is perfect because you guys do already have Reynolds. You already do have Amon Rob Brown, whatever that man's name. You do
Lamar
have him.
Ross
He's
St. Brown.
yeah,
Remember
the,
the
the man
name.
the man got
He'll
a
be a household name in 3 years.
yeah, all four of them, right? All four of his names. And obviously you guys got two pretty good running backs,
Yep.
and Swift and Williams. Uh, the line is what's really coming together.
Yep.
That offensive line is really coming together. So it seems like the offense is pretty shaping itself up. Now you guys should really probably focus towards the defense in the draft. And I think Kyle Hamilton would be a great pick at two.
Safeties, man. I, I don't I don't value safeties like that. I mean, who's the last safety that went real high? It's Jamal Adams. And obviously he's good, don't get me wrong, but I mean at the same time I just I don't like that value. I would rather trade down and get him, I don't know, 4 picks back.
I'm totally with you, especially, well, for me, I think this draft class is relatively weak. I personally think it's relatively weak. Besides the
It
wide
as a
receiver
whole,
position,
yes. As a whole, yes. There's some like this year is one for edge rushers.
edge
If
and
you
wide
want an
receiver.
edge rushers, you get 1 or 2 this year.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that because, like I said, it's stacked at edge rushers and wide receivers. Now, while we're on, edge rushers, that number one pick goes to my guys in Jacksonville, and it seems more and more likely that we're going to go with Hutchinson.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I mean, obviously I'm a betting guy, so I've looked at the odds. I mean, Hutchinson is like minus 300 to go number one, which
Yeah,
is weird because throughout this whole thing though, Hutchinson has been like 1 or 2, but
hmm
a lot of before the combine, a lot of people had you taking a tackle. The
yes,
tackle out of NC State was a popular one, or Evan Neal out of Bama.
yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you want to? Would you rather have somebody to protect Lawrence or get to
Well,
the quarterback?
all changed when we franchise tag Cam Robinson. Am I a biggest fan of that? No, because at that point you're paying him for 1 year to be a top five tackle, when I think he's a middle of the pack tackle. You know,
Yeah,
um, so obviously when you're paying that guy, you're not gonna spend that first pick on another tackle. I think they're gonna wait another year. Also, a lot of people don't know this, but Jacksonville is basically having two draft classes. We didn't have three of our top five guys drafted last year. They come back this year. One of
yep.
those guys being the tackle from Stanford, so he'll come back this year. We have a safety from Syracuse. Andre Cisco comes back, and obviously the big one, Travis Etienne, will come in and play a lot this year as well. So it's almost like we're having two draft classes because, like I said, that class is coming back. So as our offseason picked up, and obviously everyone knows we spent a lot of money this offseason, probably more money than I would like to. We overpaid on some wide receivers, but we're not going to get me riled up today. So yeah, it's looking more and more so that we're going to go Hutchinson that one.
Yeah, I mean, if Hutchinson is gone, I personally, obviously, me being a Duck fan, I
We
would
know.
love Thibodeau. I
We
would
know.
love Kayvon. But a lot of people are saying, obviously, they want Hutchinson because Michigan,
Right.
he went to University of Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. I mean, it fits. But me personally, I like Kayvon. I mean, right now, but if you go between those two, Hutchinson, right now within the next like just a 2 year span will have a better he'll have a better start to his career. But I think Thibodeau will end up being the better prospect at the end of their careers. His upside is better.
I personally like Thibodeau better too, but I'm actually seeing Thibodeau slide down these draft boards.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying they're concerns about his love for the game, which
One of
I
those.
hate those. I hate them. But it is what it is. He'll ball out wherever he goes.
I agree. Now, enough about our teams. They're boring. No one cares about Jacksonville, Detroit. Let's get to what's really going on this offseason. It's been quarterback roulette. It's literally been
Yep.
quarterback roulette. So many people have changed, and let's start with the more recent guy taking this move. Your guy who's finally getting another chance in the NFL, Mr. Marcus Mariota, going to Atlanta. How does that fit?
Well, obviously, if it's perfect for him, because Arthur Smith, if I'm not mistaken, was it his head coach or OC at when he got drafted in Tennessee. I
Also,
want to
might have
say
been
it's
his
his
OC.
former. It's either OC or head coach. I forget exactly which one, but he's reuniting with him, so he definitely knows his system.
Hmm.
And obviously, I thought Mariota played well when he wasn't hurt. His problem was he kept getting hurt,
Yep,
and not to mention, actually, it was his head coach. Now that I'm thinking about it, because he Mariota in his first 4 years had four OCs
different
in his
offensive
first 4 years.
coordinators. That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to succeed when you have a new system every year for your first 4 years.
Yep, agreed.
I don't care who you are, but it's going to be tough. There's a reason that you're not succeeding, is because you don't have chemistry with the offense. You don't have, what's the word I'm looking for? You basically just have to learn a new system every year.
Right.
And this year he knows it. So hopefully he can basically look like he did his rookie year. Because his rookie year he looked real good.
I mean, I think this is a pretty decent scenario also because he's going in there. They're going in there with no expectations other than it looks like to take.
Yeah, that's what it looked. I mean, he really doesn't have much to throw it to.
No,
You
no.
got you
He's
got
got
Pitts,
Pitts
you got
and
Patterson,
Cordero.
you got they don't I don't even think they have Russell Gage anymore, do they?
I think so, but I think that's it. Obviously,
Yeah,
Ridley's out for the year.
Zacchaeus. They have I
Yeah,
forget his first name, but
let's just say they need to tap into the draft again
yes,
this year.
they need weapons.
They need to tap into the draft, but yeah, the Falcons are a mess within itself. So we'll see how Marcus does. But obviously, he'll be in the same division as we can say his arch rival, Jameis Winston, who also
Yep,
signed back with the Saints on a 2 year deal. So I'm excited to see that.
yep. two
But
years, both of them twice a year.
right, so that'll be nice to see. Obviously, I think Mariota's leash is going to be a little bit shorter than Jameis's, but we'll see how it goes.
I don't.
No, you don't want to believe it, but let's be real. He's a bridge quarterback at this point in his career. Um,
So okay, I'll let that one slide. I'll let that one slide. I mean, I know that was a little jab, but it's all right. It's all right. I truly believe there was times where Carr should have been benched for Mariota,
I agree. I
and
100%
he
agree.
just never got a chance. So I mean, it is what it is. He finally gets his chance, and hopefully he strives.
Yeah, we'll see. Or he might be Teddy Bridgewater and Ryan Fitzpatrick, man.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully not, but maybe.
All right, now let's get to the quarterbacks that we really want to discuss. I mean, bro. The AFC now has just dominated the game with quarterbacks. Obviously, not everyone
Real.
quarterbacks are going to make the Super Bowl. Not every one of these quarterbacks are going to make the Pro Bowl. But we now have a crazy list of quarterbacks. Now that Denver's brought over, Russell
Yep.
Wilson, um, obviously Mahomes. That division alone, besides Carr, I mean, he's average at
Yep.
best. Uh,
Yep.
but then you got Jay Herbo with the Chargers. I mean, then we got the AFC North, who's now stacked. I mean, besides Mitchell Trubinsky, who again is
Yep.
average to below average in my eyes, but
I
they're
would say
stacked.
below.
But they have, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, and Lamar. So I mean, the
Yep.
AFC stacked. So let's start with, I guess, before we jump
Oh,
in
wait,
there,
hey,
let's.
hey. This isn't quarterbacks, but it's at AFC West. Remember, they also got Devontae Adams. They got Khalil
That's
Mack in that
right.
division.
That's
That
right.
that division is going to have I don't know how many Pro Bowlers. It's going to be like almost a whole Pro Bowl roster on that in that division.
That division alone, since that's what we jumped in, that's what we're gonna go with. Let's go ahead and put it out there. That division alone has now become must see TV every week.
Yep.
Every week. It doesn't matter the matchup. It doesn't matter how many times we see it. For 8 weeks, because that'll be each team playing each other twice. For 8 weeks, I need them either having a 4 o'clock or later game, a Sunday night game, a Monday night game, a Thursday night game. I need to see it on TV.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that division is just going to be so. I mean, with that 17, man, you can see every team in there.
Yep. Which is
You can see.
insane.
I mean, it'll be tough because they have to play each other, but I mean, that division is just stacked. I mean, obviously the Raiders, their only problem is going to be how good is Derek Carr going to be.
Right.
Their season is going to belong to Derek Carr, and I guess the defense too. The defense is still middle of the pack,
It is.
but I
But
mean,
that could change because, the rumors are flying around. Stephon Gilmore could be coming to town.
yeah, that's true. I did hear about that.
So there's a lot of stuff going on that we still, barely scratching the surface. Obviously, they're going to dump a lot of draft into their defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a choice. That division offensively is going to give hell each week.
Yep.
So,
And my question though, what team is the best in that division
and
now?
that's the money question. If I had to put my money on it right now, no draft, just how the roster's based on right now. Give me Jay Herbo and the Chargers, man.
Oh man! Finally,
Yeah,
you go to my side.
I
Finally.
got to take Jay Herbo and the Chargers, man. I mean, let's not even look at the obvious. The obvious is definitely the offense. It's definitely the
Mhm.
offense. Let's look at the defense. You now add J.C. Jackson to go along with Mike Davis on the other side. Now you can put Asante Samuel in the slot. You have Derwin James at the top. They can put whoever the hell they want to put up next to him. That's jury's still out because there's still Tom you out there. There's still safeties out there that they can go grab. But even beyond that, again, beyond that missing safety, besides the middle of the pack linebacking core, now on your edge rushers are now Khalil Mack and Joey
Bosa.
Beep Bosa.
But here's the thing. It looks all good and stuff. However, pass defense was not their problem last year.
No.
Pass defense was not their problem. Their problem is stopping the run. And have they actually filled that? I mean, obviously, every mock draft I've seen has Jordan Davis going to them.
I mean, it has to.
It does.
If he's
But
there, it
with
has to.
Jordan Davis's ridiculous combine he had, I don't know if a team may jump him and pick him up.
Well, that's something they're going to have to deal with in the draft. But at the same time, I do believe if they do miss out on Jordan Davis, there are other players that can go.
Yeah, there are.
But that's a segment. That's a different segment. We're gonna go back to that because that we gonna handle that. But I think there's places that they can go that can help fix that run defense. But I mean, yeah, my guess would be the Chargers, and I'm assuming by the way you reacted, you're going with the Chargers to win the division as well.
Yes, I had them winning the division last year, and they almost did it until their defense their defense couldn't stop anybody, bro. Nobody ever. I mean, you saw the very last game against the Raiders.
I knew this was going to get brought up. I
If,
knew the Raiders
if
game
they
was going to get
don't, if
brought up.
for one, if they don't call that timeout at the end, there's a good chance
They
they go
won
to
the
over.
game.
They tie
Yeah.
it, and then they get in. But at the same time, it's like, how many fourth down conversions did Justin Herbert have to freaking convert to keep that game alive? I think on the final two drives, he converted four or five of them, including that 4th and 20 that got a touchdown to tie it up.
Yeah, I mean, but that also goes to show another year with the same offense, another year with an improved defense,
Yeah.
another year Jay Herbo with the same weapons controlling that offense. I mean, I ain't calling nobody no Super Bowl champions or nothing, but I'm saying the AFC got a tough way to go, and it starts right there in the AFC West.
Yeah, but So obviously, I want the Chargers, but a team, obviously, you have the Chiefs. Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs, but they just doesn't look like they're bringing back Honey Badger, which is going to be a crucial part. They're not. They
Big
already
blow.
released. I believe they released Frank Clark, right? I know there was talks about it. I don't know if they officially did it.
I don't know if they did it yet either.
They may have just restructured, but anyway, their defense is going to take a little hit,
It will.
and I mean, we saw last year their offense at times looked very, very stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
But a team that people should definitely um, consider to win that division, Denver. What has Denver been missing the last like 3 years? A quarterback. Their defense has been excellent every year.
Now, my initial reaction when I heard Russ going over there, I was like the rest of the world. Oh! Oh! But then you really sit there and think about it. It wasn't just quarterback play. Who were these boys throwing it to? Tim Patrick and the rest of them are always hurt. You got Cortland Sutton that came off an ACL injury before this year. You
Yep.
had Jerry Jeudy that's been in and out the lineup since he's been drafted. Noah
Yep.
Fant's been in and out the lineup since he's been drafted.
Well,
You
he's
don't
gone
have,
now.
and he's gone. Exactly.
Yep.
So they still have to deal with a lack of weapons. That's the first thing. The second thing, as good as Russ can be, and I say 7 times out of 10, Russ can be a top 7 to 5 quarterback. I think we can all agree with that. At
Yep.
the other times, he can be wildly below average. I mean, wildly out of nowhere. Dude cannot move an offense to save his life.
At times, yes. I mean, the Washington game, he looked terrible
I mean, a
when
lot
they
of
tried
times
to
it
get him
happens on
killed.
the second half of the season.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of it had. I mean, he probably, in my mind, I feel like he came back from injury a little too soon, and that's
I
why he
agree.
did not look good. So I'm not going to blame it on that. And obviously, he played in Seattle, where the O line they basically just said, "You can get it done," and they never gave him any O line help at all. The one time they did was when they gave him Dwayne Brown, who was already on the downside of his career.
Right.
But other than that, they did not give him any help.
And that's what I said. We'll have to see because I mean, at least then he went from DK, Tyler Lockett, CC, Chris Carson. He went from those
Mhm.
kind of guys to now he's going to be strictly running back heavy, and they haven't even said if they're going to sign Melvin Gordon back. So right now, his
They got
only
Javante Williams. They don't need Melvin Gordon.
yeah, of course, but what NFL team doesn't have a 2 running back system?
Man, you and I both know running backs are a dime a dozen.
Exactly. So
You could
again,
get one in the fourth round that turns out to be a Pro Bowl caliber.
so again, what for sure does he have?
I like Sutton. I like Judy. I like Patrick. I
I
like
like
those three. If big if those three can stay healthy and get back to what they were, for instance, Sutton obviously coming off an ACL, you're not always, and it is hard. I'm not going to lie, it's hard to showcase your talents when you have Bridgewater and Drew Lock throwing to you.
hey,
I'm sorry,
hey,
Teddy Bridgewater is
ain't no
Mr.
dis
Check Down.
hey, ain't no disrespecting Teddy Two Gloves, all right? Ain't
Man,
none of
he's
that.
Mr. Check Down, and you know it. That dude has like a 70 some percent completion percentage, but be throwing it like 5 to 3 yards
I know.
downfield.
I know, man. That's ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, we'll have to see. I do think Denver is a sneaky team in that division because their defense is just so stout.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and remember they got Randy Gregory.
right.
They picked him up too. Obviously, you don't have Von Miller, but their secondary is going to be filthy. They got another pass rusher to go along with Bradley Chubb.
Yep.
Their defense is going to probably be top 10.
Yeah, I'm about 99% sure it's gonna be top 10.
Yeah. I mean, I think they
But
were top 10 last year.
right. But let's move on to the next exciting division, the AFC
North.
North.
Yep.
Oh, stacked. Stacked. And I'm going to go ahead and say it because everybody who knows me knows I love DY, and I'm so glad he's out of Houston. Not because they were losing. but because I don't have to see him twice a year. Now I can watch him and actually enjoy his greatness instead of watching and being so upset that he just torched Jacksonville for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards, and all he doing is throwing it to me. He's throwing me the ball. He ain't got no weapons over there. He's throwing me the ball, and he's still torching Jacksonville. So I'm happy that he is out of division, and I can watch my man thrive with Amari Cooper and those boys there. With that being said, Steve-O, who do
Yep.
you have winning that division?
Ooh, I, I like Baltimore, bro.
I am right there with you.
I like Baltimore. I know people are going to be like, "Oh, what do you mean Baltimore? They didn't even look good." Did you see the injury list that they had to deal with all season?
Bro,
I
before
don't
the
think
season
I've seen a
started,
team. I don't think I've ever seen a team have to deal with that many injuries throughout the year.
bro, before the season started, they lost their 2 starting running backs.
And they lost
And
what?
Marcus Peters.
Yep, Marcus Peters as well. Yeah,
Like they were dropping like flies before the season even started.
yep. I mean, I got Baltimore. That's just me because I like Lamar. Obviously, he still needs to improve in his passing, but I mean, their defense is going to be good if they can just stay healthy. But they did just lose their D coordinator, though. So it'll be interesting to see how their new defense does. If it sticks with the same system or goes to a new system.
I think their defense will be fine. Baltimore's always uh, been so big on defense. That's always been
Yeah.
first and foremost. And if we don't know anything about John Harbaugh, is they're going to play defense and they're going to be a physical team.
Yep.
So that we can always put in perspective. Now, you also, me personally, I'm not. I don't see the Bengals making this miraculous run like they did last year. I'm not saying it cannot happen because what they just did to that offensive line and free agency
Yep.
just basically told me that the offense will not lose a step. The
Nope.
offensive might be better,
Yep.
and that's key. That's huge because if you can score with anybody, you can compete with anybody.
Yep.
So, I'm personally not on that Bengals bandwagon, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them make another run. Not with them fixing that offense.
Yeah. I mean, I can see, honestly, I can see any team win that division. I mean, I'm going to go with Baltimore, but I can see any team, even Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I know that sounds crazy with Mitch Trubisky there, but call me crazy, but I think Mitch Trubisky would have been an upgrade over Ben Roethlisberger last year.
Last year, we did see a nasty drop off in Big Ben. Like, disgusting. Disgusting.
This dude would have like 45 completion attempts and have like 140 yards.
I know. And what people, I hope, are finally realizing it's time to give Mike Tomlin his flowers, bro.
Yep.
Anytime Mike Tomlin is there, as long as he's there, they're going to compete. Then
Yep.
they're not going to be losers. They're going to compete. They're going to win games. So yes, they very well could win the division, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Yep. Because the defense is going to be top five,
With
top
healthy,
10, top five. Yeah. It's going to be nasty.
and they just picked up Miles Jack.
Yeah, they did. You don't look
Yeah,
so happy about that.
yeah. You know what? I'm just glad that he gonna go somewhere where he's appreciated. Because
Yep.
Jacksonville didn't appreciate my man. You know, Jacksonville. You know what? Nope, nope. You almost started something. You almost started something, but I caught myself, and we gonna leave Jacksonville in a little box in the
You,
corner. I'm gonna throw away later.
you going to treat Miles Jack a lot like I treated Stafford.
Come on, man.
Once he's gone, I was like, everybody's going to see how good Stafford really is.
Right.
And sure enough, he did. And Miles Jack is going to turn out to be the same way in Pittsburgh.
Bro, people don't even realize for the last couple of years, for the last 3 years, he's been I personally would say a top 3 to top 5 linebacker in the AFC. I'm not gonna say the whole NFL because the NFC was stacked. But in the
Yeah.
AFC, I would say he's top 3 to 5 linebackers. But of course no one cares when you play for Jacksonville.
Nope. If you're not a top, if you if you're a linebacker and your defense isn't in the top like 10, or I'll say top 15, if you're balling and you're like in the 13, 12 range, I think people will still notice you. But if you're like in the bottom 20 or bottom 10, I guess you would say, people ain't gonna care how good you are.
No, no,
They're not.
they
They're
don't
like,
at all.
I mean, they don't care. Some people just don't care about tackles because
No.
I know he's a tackling machine.
Yes, he is. And he's better in pass defense than people think too.
Yeah.
Oh man, like I said, we cannot get started. But what I do, since we're still on the AFC North, we can go ahead and shout out D Watt because the way he handled himself during all this has been class full. He
Yep.
did not uh oh, he stayed cooperative with the cops the whole time. He sat out
Yep.
the season. You didn't hear any barking, any biting, any complaining,
Nope.
and came out that they didn't have nothing on him. I'm not saying he's 110% innocent, but they didn't have nothing on him to press any charges. Give my man his credit. Congratulations. I'm glad he got all that guaranteed money. And now I hope he goes out there and balls out for the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a humongous upgrade from Baker Mayfield.
Man, I had somebody ask me, did I personally think he was that much of a difference than Baker? I said, what?
What? Are they watching the same game? Like,
I said, what?
I mean, okay. In Baker's defense, it's hard for me to say this because in Baker's defense, like he was hurt a lot.
Ain't no, ain't no
He was
defense.
hurt a lot.
Ain't
So
no defense. Ain't no
no,
defense.
okay. He had his time. He had his opportunities, but he was hurt a lot. So you did like last year. If you base it off last year, you're crazy because he was hurt almost. What he got hurt like week 5.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm just going to ask you one question.
Yes.
Is Baker Mayfield better than Derek Carr?
Ooh, Derek Carr.
You know the answer is no.
uh, I don't know. I mean, Derek.
you, you know the answer is no, bro. You know that.
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm gonna say no, but it's hard to judge Baker right now. He's been hurt almost his whole fucking career. He's missed like 4 or 5 games almost every year.
Listen, I I used to like Big Dog. I wanted Big Dog to come in and turn Cleveland around, but nah, Big Dog he need to stay to the he need to stay to the streets.
Oh my God. Oh
he
boy.
need to stay there.
I mean, he's a lot like he's in the situation like what's it called? Like Wentz was. Like basically,
Okay, no, but
obviously he's been
okay.
hurt. You get what I'm saying though, right?
I
In
can
that
I know where you're going, and it's kind of
because
interesting.
they gave him the perfect opportunity because you got
Hmm.
a good run game, you got a good O line. The
Hmm.
weapons not the greatest.
No, the
I mean,
defense was there,
yeah, defense was there. I mean, you had everything to build around,
and what happened?
but
Why is he so average then?
well, again, Baker was hurt last year. Hey, he took him. He took him to the playoffs for the first time in what? I mean, obviously, was it all him? No,
But
there's a
yeah,
lot to
yeah,
do with Chubb,
gave
but
them hope.
He got him to the playoff for the first time in forever.
Right, and that's one thing I did see on Twitter. Somebody said Brown fans need to be more grateful because Baker did shine some light and brought them hope because he brought them to the playoffs for their first time in God knows when. Obviously, like you said, it was more than Baker, but still, he still was
Problem is,
facing that.
once you get to the playoffs, and then you have a year like he did last year, then they start hating on him again
Right,
because they say it's all his fault. I mean, shit, even OBJ's dad was calling him out.
I would too. If my son playing over there and I knew my son
Man,
was a star,
OBJ did not want to be there.
hey, all I know is I have never seen a highlight tape of missed opportunities.
Oh my goodness.
That was hilarious. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's not the greatest thrower. He's not. I mean, he came from a spread system, and then he goes to a power running system.
Right, yeah, two totally different. Totally different.
I mean, not everybody can adapt to the systems. I mean, that's why it's important for a quarterback to go when they're drafted to go to the right system. Because if you just get drafted there because you're supposedly the best quarterback and then it doesn't fit your system, you're going to look like a bust, plain and
Right,
simple.
right.
And that's exactly what happened.
All right, well, let's get out of the AFC. We know that the AFC really stacked up, and they're let's be
Yep.
honest, they're obviously the favorites for anybody to win the Super Bowl. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
There was still some pretty big news over in the NFC, especially dealing with quarterbacks as well. Obviously, we had Matt Ryan being traded today.
Yep.
You have Aaron Rodgers deciding to stay with the Packers.
Get a big old payday.
He got a big payday, but they also said that he knew that they weren't going to bring Devontae Adams back before he signed the contract. Do you believe that?
No. No. Nope. I truly don't believe that. There's no way that you want to go back to that roster without Devontae Adams. You
Well,
don't, because
it ain't
who are your
necessary.
weapons? Who are your weapons after that?
Okay, now I know you ain't just talking about who are your weapons after that. You the same one who was just vouching for Denver's weapons. So now you can't vouch for the Packers' weapons. Who
I
their
will
running
take
backs are
Denver's
better.
weapons.
Their running backs are better for one.
You said who?
The Packers' running backs are better than Denver's running backs.
Okay, that's running backs. I'm talking about quarterbacks and receiver weapons.
The wide receivers, I just hope they fix that in the draft.
Because right now you got Alan Lazard. Valdez Scantling's a free agent.
And yeah, and I don't know if they're going to bring him back.
I don't know either. I don't know if Rodgers even wants him back for all the drop passes he's had.
And I did see something interesting. Maybe bring in Cole Beasley because Randall Cobb is obviously older.
Yes, I mean Cole Beasley wouldn't be bad. It would have been nice to get Jamison Crowder, but he just signed with the Bills.
Right, right. So obviously that's why we're like Cole Beasley has to make sense there.
Yeah, it,
But
it would.
obviously you'd still need another number one.
Yeah, I mean obviously they have Amon Ra's brother. I don't know how you say his name. It's like Equanimus or something.
Right.
Like you got him, who's a big target. I don't know how good he actually is because he didn't get much playing time.
I mean,
But
we
I
still
mean,
there's still wide receivers out there.
oh, I mean, yeah, they're probably going to get one in the draft. They got it.
They got to, but I mean, obviously you still got big names as well. You still have OBJ who's available. He already said that he wants to sign back with LA.
Why
So
wouldn't he?
yeah, exactly. He wants to sign back with LA. LA also just shipped Robert Woods away, so it's
Yep.
looking more likely that he goes back. But you still
Yep.
have Julio. We don't know where Julio's going to go. You still got AB out there. If
Indy.
AB gets another chance, I mean,
AB is not going to get another chance. I would
hey,
be
hey,
so
hey,
shocked.
hey, hey,
For one, I don't know if he wants to play again. And for two,
yes.
after what he did, who the hell's going to take him?
Okay,
You're
see,
going to have
see,
so many.
see,
You
see,
are going to you're going to
yeah,
have so much shit in your in the contract, like the
see,
fine print.
and that right there, yes, ain't been paying attention to my dog AB. AB been going on every podcast out here in America, telling the story of what really happened. Yes, ain't been paying attention, Steve. You need to go. You need to go find it, and you need to listen. My dog deserved one more chance, but I personally wanted to be with the Ravens. But that's a different story for a different day. Like I was saying, there's still receivers out there that we can wait and see. And like you said, there's a ton of them in the draft. They got to fix that. Um,
Yep.
obviously, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm looking at the NFC, and it's going to be a snooze fest. Okay.
Compared to the AFC, yeah.
To the AFC, it's going to be a snooze fest. I mean, we still do have Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, and the biggest news is Tom Brady coming back.
Yeah, that was a long retirement. What, like
I,
a month and a half, 2 months, something like that?
hey, that's all he needed. That's all he needed. Hey,
Yeah, I
what
know.
saw he saw was everybody going to the AFC, so he said, "You know what? Let's run it back."
Yep.
So yeah,
Like,
the
why
NFC
wouldn't
is
he?
going. the NFC is gonna be a snooze fest. I mean, then don't forget we have who I think maybe one of the. It's hard for me to say this because I love the kid, but it may be one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL, in Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Kyler. I don't. I don't know. I thought Cliff Kingsbury coming in, I thought was going to be a perfect match made in heaven for them.
Me too.
And then they got D Hop, which I thought was even better.
But yeah, me too.
And I don't know. They look so good at the beginning of the year, every year,
Every
every.
year.
And then I don't know what it is. They just drop off. I don't know if it's because health. Well, obviously last year you lost D Hop for like the last 4 games, I think. And then Kyler was banged up for the. I
Yeah,
think he got hurt. What, Thanksgiving?
he missed what 2-3 games before he had to come in.
Yeah, something like that. And then I don't know. I really don't know, but it's literally every year. So Cliff Kingsbury, if you go back to his college days at Texas Tech, he has done it every year. He has fell off the second half of the year.
Wow.
If you go back and watch it or look at his records and how he starts versus how he finishes, it's a drop off every year. So I don't know if they need to move on from him or what, because obviously Kyler has expressed his displeasure with the team, and then I think lately they've
They
got back
yeah, they're
and kind of
mending.
made up.
Yeah, they kissed and made up.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like something's the problem. I don't know if it's the coach or the quarterback,
Right.
but it's one of them. It has to.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
For it to keep happening, it's one of them.
I agree. And I don't know. That's just the Cardinals in a nutshell. That's what they've been in a nutshell. But
And while we're in that division, is Jimmy Garoppolo the starting quarterback week 1 for the Niners?
didn't he request a trade earlier in this
I'm not sure if
offseason
he
too?
officially requested one. Everybody speculated he was going to get traded, but he hasn't got traded yet.
Now the only thing I could see is he may very well stay with the 49ers. It just all depends on what Trey Lance looks like in the offseason. I mean, he did not look horrible in the last couple of games that he did start in for the 49ers, but he did look like he wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, but I don't know, because Garoppolo's contract is pretty big. And if you can move on from him, obviously right now they're wanting like I believe it's a second round pick.
Well, time's ticking. Where is he going to go right now?
There's not many places he can go now.
Yeah, exactly. Time's ticking, and that's the thing.
The
So
only
that
team
makes
I
me
can think of that is in need, like in dire need of a quarterback right now, you got the Panthers,
Seattle,
which in Seattle. Yep. And a lot of times
and now the
teams don't
Falcons.
teams don't really trade with division teams
Right.
because, well, obviously there's a rivalry, but I can't think of too many other teams. You said the Falcons, but I don't think you trade for them when you just got Mariota.
Ah, yeah, that's right. They did get Mariota. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. No,
So the only other team I could think of, let's see.
that's it. Because I think Houston's
Yeah,
pretty. I think Houston's pretty much settled with Davis Mills.
yeah, they are.
So
They're planning on building around him. I mean, he played good at the end of the year.
yeah, they were competitive.
Weren't winning many games, but you
They
don't
better
expect
not
that
be. They still beat our sorry asses.
for real.
So yeah, all right. So to wrap this segment up, give me
Yep.
right now your biggest offseason winner.
Biggest offseason winner? Ooh. Um, You got to go Raiders. No, I lied. Chargers.
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 Uh, It's got to be the Chargers.
It's gotta be, bro. It's gotta be.
Offensively, they they were good last year. They were excellent last year. They were
Yep.
losing games because of defense. And what
Yep.
do? You go get you trade at a minimal price. Obviously, he's not the same player he was 4 or 5 years ago in Khalil Mack. But then you get the premier
Corner.
cornerback in
Yep.
J.C. Jackson.
Yep.
And then obviously you re-sign Mike Williams
Right.
to basically to run it back with the offense. You just need to
Yep.
fix that O-line and the interior part of the defense. You can do that
Yep.
through the draft, and you got yourself a team that's ready to compete for Super Bowls. Not just make the playoffs, but compete for Super Bowls.
That right there is why I think they're the biggest winner. Because now they just put themselves, or at least on paper, as a top 3 team on paper in my eyes. Top 3.
Yep.
All
I
right,
could
well,
have put the Browns in there because obviously the Browns
we're
they've
already
been but they traded way too much, I think. I mean, obviously Watson, you're going to have to pay the hefty price, but they traded 6 draft picks, 3
well.
first.
The thing I will say about the Browns is they may still be in contention to sign another wide receiver. I've been hearing that Jarvis Landry actually may be coming back because of the Watson news.
Man,
Be on the lookout because who wants to play with Big Dog? He already did that. He was done with Big. He was done with that. So be on the lookout. That's why I say as of
mm-hmm.
right now, we kind of got to give it to the
The
Chargers,
Chargers.
but things
Yep.
can take a total spin left, especially after the draft.
Yep. The
So
draft is going to be interesting. Do you want to? Hey, quick question. Last question, I guess. Do you want to stay at the number 1 pick?
me personally, no.
That's how I am with the 2. I want to trade back, maybe get another first round pick for next year.
That's what I'm saying. To me, this class is just weak. It's weak as a whole. It's weak. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if we're gonna make it do what it do, go ahead and take Hutchinson 1. I'm hoping Jameson falls to 33.
Well,
Uh,
if he's there, we're taking him. So you can just forget about that
if
because we
he's
need
there,
to
what?
receive.
You got 2 picks in the first round?
We got the Rams first for the Stafford deal.
Man, go take David Bell and leave me alone, man.
You think we're going to take David Bell over Jameson Williams? Yep, you're crazy. Do I
But
really want? If I want a receiver, I want Drake London.
okay, perfect. Have him. I'll see
But
you at.
he's going to be top 10. He'll be a
I know
top 10 pick.
that's what they're all saying. He's a top 10 pick.
Yeah, so it would be nice because I mean his teammate is Monroe St. Brown from USC.
Right. You trying to have that connection.
Hell yeah.
But again, that's a conversation for a different day because we are going to touch up on the draft, so y'all stay tuned. But with
Yep.
everything being said, that wraps it up for this segment. Like I said, off season right now has been crazy. It's been crazy good. Steve-O, as always, thank you for being part of the show.
Yep.
We, I,
Always
I think,
fun being on here.
I think this show had crazy energy. We needed this today.
Yes, we need to do this more often.
Yeah, hey, another story. Well, you know that's another story. But yeah, again, thank you for being part of the show. As for everyone who's listening, please don't forget to follow us on all social media podcasts at MB8Cast. That'll be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Obviously, we're on Anchor, which brings us to all different podcast platforms. So definitely, guys, tune in, show us some love. Don't forget to comment. We're constantly on Twitter. Comment, like. We definitely get into it with people over there on Twitter quite a bit. So
Yep.
who knows what controversy we're going to stir up in the next couple months. So just stay tuned. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next time.
Kingsy go crazy.